Stuff you can do with Node that isn't enterprise DevOpsy boring stuff. This is stuff that you can do at home and play with and see where it lands you. So what we got here is a device microcontroller called a Tessel. This microcontroller actually runs Node on this little thing. It's not strictly speaking Node. Apparently it's Lua, but I've written Node. It's been compiled down. It's been added here, and I'm going to show you how I've done that. First, I'm giving you a little demo. You can see there's an X, Y, and Z coordinates shifting along all the time there. Now, what I also did as part of this little experiment was, if I can get there, oh no, let's go to another window here, and we'll do typing with one hand. And we'll put it into port 3001, just for old school's sake. Okay, so now on one tab, I have a bunch of data coming through from my Tessel, from my accelerometer. And in this tab, I'm running a web server, which is just running an HTML page. And I need to go to a browser. So go to localhost, not that one, 3001. Ooh, can you hear that? I've taken the data from my accelerometer and turned it into sound. And that is what you can do with Node. I'll eat your DevOps for lunch. All right, okay. Does anyone want to see the code? Oh, yeah. If you don't close the window. Okay, so oh, how do you get the inspector back up here? Oh, never mind that. Let's close that. Ah, go away. Generate a sound. Let's close that. Okay, thanks very much. So I'll give you a quick preview of the code just to sort of prove that it was Node. So Tessel Tessel's nice because it's very modular. They have this is the accelerometer, which is plugged in there. I've just pulled it out, so it's going to stop working, obviously. It's very light and easy. It's not the only device out there, but what's nice about them is they package them and make it easy to program for. They provide a bunch of stuff, a bunch of Node modules that you can code for, and a bunch of sample code, which this is mostly based on. So I have a Tessel app here. I'm running this via my USB, and what am I doing? It was a long time ago that I wrote this. Okay, so I'm basically emitting a WebSocket. I'm setting up a WebSocket server, which is taking from the Tessel serial port. It's listening on the port, and it's piping stuff out, and somewhere, I can't remember where, sending it as text, right? Then on the actual hardware is being looked at here. So this is a little bit easier to understand because this is taken from the sample code on the Tessel website. It's clearly JavaScript, and it's quite clear what it's doing. It's basically listening for the ready and the data events, and it's outputting data from the accelerometer. Fairly straightforward stuff. And then the client side, it's not Node, but it's JavaScript, sound. I'll probably rip this off someone's website or something. Listening on the WebSocket. I've got an audio context running, and then I'm just basically piping what's coming in from the WebSockets through to the frequency modulators and all these things that you can get into with webaudio, and creating the R2D2 sound that you get. So that's it. If you want to have a closer look, I'm willing to share it with you and show you later. I haven't put this on my GitHub or anything yet. This is a Tessel one. I got this through, I was a backer in their original sort of fundraiser and got this as a prize. They've kind of upped the ante and their performance, and they've got the Tessel 2 is out now. I don't know much about it, but there are other devices which are worth, if you're interested in writing JavaScript for small devices, other than the Raspberry Pi, which is just a small computer, you've got something like the Esperino or the Esperino Pico, which I've got a couple here. They literally are the size you can do cool stuff that will output to your old Nokia display there. Maybe next time I'll organize it. But this is the device here. It's got I've soldered a Wi-Fi antenna onto the top of it, but it's basically it plugs into your USB, or you can get it standalone to run off a battery, and that you can run a little Node server on it as well. And it's good for putting little sensors around your house, or various things. So it's worth looking at Esperino and what they're doing. Johnny 5. Has anyone here heard of Johnny 5? All right, getting Node onto or getting JavaScript, running your JavaScript on your Arduino or other devices via firmware. Or what do they call it? A firmata, which allows you to run it. The code actually runs on your machine, so you have to be tethered. And just to sort of give a nod to NodeBots in London, they haven't had an event for a long time, but look out for them when they do, because it's a really great day of just hacking on hardware. So that's where I did that. I did NodeBots Day. So yeah, that's my little lightning talk.